welcome to another episode of the Rolling Mastadon Creates podcast, episode 31. My name is Tori or Victoria, the mastermind behind the crazy, and today is September 19th, a lovely, lovely sunny fall-like Saturday. It's amazing. But anyway, if you want to find me elsewhere on the internet before I dive into the rest of the episode, you can find me on Instagram as Tori Schaffner. You can find me on Ravelry as lilwestie, L-I-L-Westie. You can, of course, find me on the blog, williammastadon.wordpress.com, as well as Facebook, and, of course, YouTube. So check me out in those different locations. Let's see. Let's just jump into it this week. Oh, before I jump in, you might notice that this is a week late. I decided to take a week off from podcasting, take a break, get some more stuff done. I just really was feeling off, and I needed to clean the apartment, and it was starting to get at me, so I did just that, and now we're back at it. So we're all good to go again. I mean, it's been another work week, so the apartment is again not clean, but at least it's not as bad as it was 2 weeks ago. So that's always good. But let's see. I have some things to show. Mainly, I am so happy this is almost done. Alright, this is like an FO, but it's not, because it's not technically finished, so I guess it could be a work in progress, but we're going to call it an FO, but I'll share more of this next episode. But guys, you see this bag and you probably just know. I finished Tanya by Caitlin Hunter. It's done. It's knit it's completely knit. None of the ends are woven in yet, and it has not been blocked. So there are a lot of strings hanging off this thing, as you can see, and there's a lot more inside. But this is done. This is finally done, and I tried it on. I know it'll grow a little bit in length, but I'm actually going to block it out a little widthwise to avoid that, because it can be a little more wide. It wouldn't affect the pattern. I like the way it fits now. I know it'll grow a little bit, but that's okay. But this is done. I don't know if you can see the laceage. There we go. But you'll see it better. I will block this. I plan to weave in the ends this evening and block it tomorrow and take some finished object photos. So this is done. This is so exciting because there was a point where I was knitting on this. This is knit up top, from bottom up. It's a paid for pattern, so I'm not going to say much more than that. But it's knit bottom up. And there was a point where I was worried that this was just not going to work. It wasn't going to fit. I wasn't going to like it. Like, why did I rip it out and knit the same pattern? And then I finished the body and I tried it on, and I didn't have the neckline or the sleeves on yet. And I was like, this is going to be okay. I really like it. So I think I'm really going to like this. Maybe not so much a winter wear, but I don't care. I'm going to wear it anyway. But definitely in spring and summer, I could bust this out and wear this. It's very lightweight. This is knit out of Knit Picks Stroll Fingering Hand Paint in the Sunny Afternoon colorway. And it was knit on US 3.25 millimeter needles. I don't know if I said the pattern is by Caitlin Hunter, but show notes are on the blog as usual. But yeah, this is done. Few tales of woe these last 2 weeks. I had finished knitting the shoulders on the front, the shoulder shaping, and realized I had done them on the wrong shoulders. I had knit it backwards, so I had to rip out the shoulders and redo those. And then the sleeves, I knit the 1X size, but I figured the sleeves would not fit on the 1X size, and yet I just went ahead and knit the 1X size sleeve originally, and no, it didn't fit. Of course it didn't fit. I was looking at it and going, this isn't going to fit, but I knit the whole sleeve. I don't know what I was thinking. I should have just ripped it out and did what I thought I would have to do right away. But I actually just picked up as many stitches as were available, and typically you don't want to do that because it'll pucker, but you don't notice it on here, and then the sleeves fit. So I am very happy. It actually ended up coming up to the largest size in the pattern, I think, is the sleeve size I knit. But this thing fits beautifully. I love it. I am excited to wear it, and I'm excited to weave in the ends and block it, and I'm excited for it to be done. Because if I count how many sweaters I have finished in 2020, the count is technically 3. because I knit Ursa in completion, and then I knit this twice. Or finished this. Well, knit this once entirely in 2019 or 2020 and finished it twice. So, yeah, it's been a year of sweaters for me. But that's okay, because I've really been enjoying it, and I think it's a good thing, and I'm glad that I'm finally pinpointing my wardrobe staples. And guys, I used a full skein less of yarn knitting this time. So obviously I knit this way too big last time, because I have, let's see, leftovers that aren't my full skein. I have all of this left. So I could easily knit something else. I've got one full skein left, plus all those leftovers. So I could knit something of size. I could add it to a shawl. But I could definitely make something with that. So, yay, this is done. I will share finished object photos next episode, because I hope to have those done by then. I should have those done by then, but this is finally done and something I can approve of. That's not going to bug me in my closet because I'm never going to wear it. I think I will wear this. So that is exciting. That's like my first work in progress FO / kind of both finished object, work in progress. Let's see. On to the next thing. Because of that sweater, I haven't really been working on any other knits, and now that I've mostly finished that sweater, I'm dreaming of other sweaters, so you can probably see what's going to happen this weekend. A sweater will probably get cast on. But anyway, I have a lot of works in progress right now, but I haven't really worked on most of them. The second one that I've worked on is the Shadow Play Wrap by Alexandra Tavel. This is knit on US 8, is it 5mm? Yep, 5mm needles out of 4 colors of Barocco Vintage. And I have to make a decision here. Originally, I was going to stop on this last color. There's 4 colors in the shawl, starting with the gray, going to the purple, the teal, and then this peachy color. I'm debating ending it with the gray. I have it skeined up here. My only thing is that I don't know if I want to end with the gray, because then I would have one lonely skein left of this, and I'm not sure what I'd do with it. But honestly, it'd probably be super nice for a hat for someone. So I probably will just go the extra mile. The pattern only calls for 4 colors in 4 sections. But I think I'm going to go the extra mile and add this extra color in for extra size. Just because I want this to basically be a shawl blanket, a schlanket, so that I can bring it to work and basically cuddle in it and have more style than just having a straight up blanket at my desk like some coworkers do, which is totally fine, except I don't want a blanket at my desk because then it'll feel like I'm just, gonna take a nap. But a shawl, a shawl I can do. So I'm quite excited about this. Like, it's impossible to show right now because this thing is so large. It's extremely bunched up on the needles I have them on. So it's very large. And in fact, I think I'm going to add this right to my project bag right now because I've convinced myself I'm adding an extra color. I also think that it'll be nice to start with the gray and end with the gray because I feel like it maybe would have looked a little unfinished ending on this teal or this peachy color. So we'll have to see. This shawl also has tassels, and originally I was debating not doing the tassels because of midnight, but I honestly think I'm going to wear this more at work, so I'll probably put the tassels on because I think that's kind of what makes the pattern. So I'll have to figure out making tassels again. I haven't made those in forever. But that is my second work in progress. Oh yes, and the color names are numbers. I don't have them here, so they are in the blog post with the show notes. So if you're curious on the colors I'm using, Barocco Vintage decided they didn't need to use names at a certain point, so mine are just color numbers. So unfortunately, if you're curious, you can check out the blog. Let's see. One other work in progress and a sneaky finished object, which we'll talk about in a moment. But these are my socks in a maybe different carrying case, you may notice, but we'll get to that in a second. But I I didn't finish knitting. I was working on my toe-up socks this week. I've been purposely forcing myself to pull these out at work on lunch and breaks. Just so that it does, like, I feel like it grounds me, it calms me down a little bit, and it keeps me like busy instead of just thinking about the day, which honestly I don't like. I'm not that stressed at work, so it's not like I'm like, oh, I need something to calm me down. Maybe this is why I'm not as stressed. No, it's not a stressful place. But yeah, I think since you've last seen this, I put in the heel marker area, and then I've knit from here. So I think I've knit probably 4 to 5 inches on this at this point. This is the second sock. The first one is done. These are knit on US 2.25 millimeter needles, and these are in the Opal Rainforest colorway. They're 4-ply, and the color is Sweetie. This yarn is so luxurious. This yarn is very expensive, and I have one other pair of socks out of it, but I love the socks, and so I decided eventually I was going to splurge on another skein of yarn, and I really like it. Really like these socks, and I have a lot left, like because I knit them a little shorter. I have a lot left, so I may knit, I don't know what I'll do with the rest, but I have quite a bit left. We'll see. But those are my 12 socks. I have put work on them for a change, so that's kind of nice. Those are the only projects I've worked on, mainly because Tanya was taking up all my time as I put my hand on the bag down here, but it was taking up all my time because I just wanted it to be done because I want to wear this sweater. I would say over this last year, I have officially categorized myself as a process knitter as opposed to a product knitter, especially for sure, because I'm all about the process of knitting and knitting something. I'm not always like, oh, I need this finished object and I need it yesterday. Normally that's not my end goal in knitting. I just like the process, and I would say reknitting an entire sweater certainly solidified that because I wasn't happy with the product and I didn't mind knitting it again. So I think I'm officially into that category now. But yeah, super fun. Those are all my works in progress. I don't have any spinning to show you this time. I haven't touched that because I've been touching other things, aka sewing. So I finished, was that last weekend? Or the weekend before? I think it was last weekend I did a bunch of sewing. I don't remember. But I sewed. First of all, we'll start with, I needed a couple more masks to put in the rotation for work because I wanted to have 5 masks in total that I wear to work so I could rotate them out and wash them. Actually, I should have washed the older ones now. But I sewed 2 more masks. Let's see. This is the first fabric. It's, I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of too large of a print to have on a mask, but I didn't really care. I thought it looked cool. It's technically peace signs with like flowers on it. The lining fabric's the exact same. So I sewed this one. The contrast thread is lime green, but it pulls more yellow. So I'm kind of sad I didn't just use like purple or teal on this instead. I thought the lime green would pop, but it just looks yellow on this, but it's okay. It's a mask. Nobody notices the stitching except me. So I finished one of these, and again, these are the kind that go over the back of your head and then cinch with the paracord and then a little tie. So finished this one, and then I sewed this one. This one was made with a slightly different pattern. I'm not sold on the pattern, although it's not as bad as I thought it would be. I maybe would make this pattern if I put elastic on it. I don't think I'd use it for for a cord tied one, but if I use elastic, I may use this pattern. But this one has this cute polka dot fabric, and then the lining is, you've probably seen this before because I made a mask out of this, but I had enough for lining. And then again, same deal. I did the paracord with the tie. On Monday morning when I went into work, my boss was like, how many masks do you own? You've got so many cool masks. And I was like, well, I have 5 that I wear to work. And then I have those 4 other ones I made. So I technically got 9, which is a lot. But I have 1 in each car. I have 1 in my purse. And I have 1 in my backpack for work. And then I've got these 5 masks that I actually wear to work. So I've got masks everywhere because we have a mask mandate in Dane County. So we have to wear masks. Which makes sense. I'd wear it anyway. But there we go. Excuse me. My nose is running a little bit. But yeah. So I finished a second mask, and I've been getting compliments on my masks because I just wear neon colored masks. They never match my outfit. Mainly because everything's teal, although because I own so much teal stuff, because apparently I'm in love with teal, like just, you know, teal, unicorn phone holder, teal stuff behind me. I guess I just really like this color. So I inadvertently match, but for the most part I don't match these for any reason. I just like having a pop of color on my face, and it's kind of fun. People like to watch out and see which mask I'm wearing. So I finished 2 more of those. And then for ages, absolutely ages, I have been saying I needed to sew another sock size knitting box bag pouch. And I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do it because I kind of did something I don't know if you're supposed to do, but I had sew-on interfacing and I had iron-on adhesive. And so I did a small test to make sure I wouldn't ruin anything. And I realized I probably could get away with using the iron-on adhesive to turn the sew-on interfacing into an iron-on interfacing, basically. It was an extra step, but it was worth it because I cannot use sew interfacing with this. I tried the first bag and it was miserable. So I sewed another bag. And let me take a few things out because this is the fabric I used on the outside. And then on the inside, I used this like green feathery pattern here. Green zipper, of course. And then the ties are the same fabric as my first box bag, which I thought was kind of cool because it kind of tied it together. When I had these sitting next to each other though, you could see just how horribly dirty that other bag was compared to this pristine fabric. So that other bag is in the wash. I need to wash it actually today. But yeah, I finished another box bag. I absolutely love it. And of course I just transferred over my carabiner so I can clip it onto things if I'm taking it somewhere, because this never fits in my purse. I always have a smaller purse. So yeah, I finished some sewing and I'm quite happy with it. I think I want to sew more box bags just because I really, really like this size. This size is fine. The medium shawl size I made was fine. But this size, I just seem to really like, so I'm definitely probably, I hopefully will make another one of these at some point. But I mean, how many years have I been saying I'd make another one? It's been a while, so how many years will it take me to make another one after this one? Maybe not, because now I actually have direct access to a sewing machine. At the time I made the other one, it was a lot harder to get to a sewing machine because it was basically in my dad's office space. That's how long ago it was. And I couldn't be down there if he was there because then I'd be infringing on his work. So yeah, now I have my own space. So maybe it won't take me 4 years or 5 years to make another one. But yeah, that was my last sewing make. But otherwise it's kind of gonna go real fast from here. Upcoming cast on wardrobe staples. In other words, I want to cast on another sweater and gifts, Christmas gifts, which I still haven't touched. I think I found a few patterns. I printed some things off and put them in my binder, the handy dandy pattern binder that I use all the time now. Oh yeah, first pattern is my hedgehog mitts, which I haven't worked on. But yeah, I put the patterns in here in those clear plastic protectors, and it's just a lot easier to keep track of. But I put a few patterns in there. I haven't started anything and I haven't gotten any yarn out, so I should do that because it's September and I don't have that much time. I better do that soon. But otherwise, stash enhancements, I don't have any, haven't purchased any yarn. Don't really plan to just yet because I need to eventually think about ordering from Knit Picks, but that's going to be down the line, so I'm kind of just saving until I get to that point. Non-knit loves. I have a couple things. One thing is absolutely ridiculous. Can you see those? Can you? Come on. I want to be able to see you. Like, come in. No, it's not going to let me. There's a Mr. Slothy and a Mrs. Slothy. They're mugs. They're really cute. Justin and I picked them up at Walmart on clearance, and I really think they're adorable. Mr. Slothy and Mrs. Slothy. Now, we don't drink coffee, but I don't really care, because these are so cute. I drink tea, so we got this, and I had to share because it's so cute. They had another one that was cacti, which I thought about getting instead, and it was like, can't touch this and don't be a prick, but the patterns looked the exact same. And I know the patterns look really similar on these, but they look less similar than those mugs. So I was like, this makes more sense. So I did inherit that. The other one, I totally forgot to share last time, which is silly because this may be absolutely ridiculous, but this is an incense burner. It was in my grandpa's shop, and at one point Grandma didn't care, my mom said I could have it, Grandma said I could have it, and finally this time when we were there, Dad was like, just take it, you keep talking about it, like, you need to take this with you. So this is a little incense burner. I don't have any incense to burn in it. I found out I can order the incense I want on Amazon, which is the Payne's Balsam Fir. And I know a lot of people say, oh, it doesn't smell like balsam. Mom always burned that incense at fall, during fall, in like fall and Christmas time. So for me, it's just a memory, like a scent that brings back good memories, and it just makes me feel at home and like it's a comfort smell. So I think I'm eventually going to get that, but I got the little, it's so ridiculous, but it's a little incense burner. It's a mushroom incense burner. It's so cute. So I'm very happy. But otherwise, not much is here. Not much is going on. We can just jump into life lately. Trying to think. I got an earlier work schedule, so I'm working an hour earlier, which means I get out of work an hour earlier, which is really nice. I didn't realize just how much I would like that. It almost feels like I'm playing hooky because I used to work till 5 when the business closed, and now I work till 4, so I leave before the business closes because I come in when they open instead. And it's just, it's like I feel like I'm playing hooky when I leave the building. It's kind of fun, even though I did my full shift. But I've really been enjoying it because the commute's not quite as, it's not a crazy commute, but there's a few less people leaving Madison at that time. And it's just nice to get home and have that extra hour. Like, I'm not eating at 6 or 7 o'clock. I'm eating a little earlier. Well, I'm still maybe 6, but it's not like 7 o'clock. And then I have more time to, like, I can waste time and still have a solid 2 hours of knitting time if I have the energy, which is so cool. So I've been really enjoying that. I'm hoping that it means I can crank out more stuff, but we'll see. We'll see. Also, fall is here. Super exciting. You know, it's weird because the colors in the leaves are just ever so slightly starting to change. And I think part of that is because we had such a bad drought for a while in August, like all of August, that things were just starting to like shut down as I look out the windows. But yeah, fall is finally here. It's cooling down a little bit. It went down to 39 early this morning. It was glorious. The apartment is cool. I can wear long sleeve shirts, so I'm wearing my long sleeve Michigan shirt. Like, home is in the wrong spot, by the way. This part, the UP is home, not the Lower Peninsula. Home is up here. But anyway, yeah, it was kind of nice to enjoy the fact that the days are just kind of bright. I'm very thankful that we don't have fires, although earlier this week we certainly had the smoke blow over, which is kind of scary because that just solidifies how bad it truly is. The wildfires are right now in the US. So that is scary. So I'm just very thankful that the skies are clear here. We have good air, and like, I shared some pictures on Instagram. The sky was so beautifully blue yesterday when I left work. I had to take pictures. I'm sure people at work and people in their apartment building thought it was crazy because I was taking pictures of the sky and the trees. But like, it's just so nice. So I think I'm just really glad we have that. But at this point, I'm rambling. There's not much going on other than I'm just glad the seasons are changing and I'm ready for fall. There you go. So hopefully that'll mean you'll see more knitting because fall is a knitter season. Fall and winter are a knitter season, I would say. So we'll see what I get up to. But with that, I think I'm going to leave you. If you enjoyed everything you see here, definitely check out other videos on my YouTube channel. I'm Victoria Schaffner there, although I think it might still be Victoria Schwanke in the URL. I don't remember. You can find me on Instagram as Tori Schaffner. I'm most active there if you want to just see what I'm up to day to day. You can find me on Ravelry as lilwestie, Lilwestie. You can of course find the show notes and more about me on the blog, woolymastodon.wordpress.com. And then I am on Facebook, just not as active there. Thanks for joining me. I hope you have I need to go do something, I guess. I hope you have a wonderful week ahead of you, and I will see you in my next episode.